Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Barry Chappell coming to you live from Hollywood, California, home of PrimeTime Shopping Network. I want to thank Ashley for doing the show for me last week. I important time in my family. Well, anyway, I have a great show tonight. I have some of the rare of Gregory Wilhelmy. I always call him my cowboy artist. He is second to none. He is a passionate artist, and when we sell some of these hand-embellished pieces, Jimmy, when you go most places like Peter Max and Nagel and other artists, when they hit it big, they do editions of 5,000 or 2,000. It was not even uncommon for Peter Max at some point to do 999, an edition of 999. People would fight over the number one. Gregory Wilhelmy, all the work you see tonight, most of them, there are only an edition of 5. They're hand embellished, only 5 made. I mean, you're talking about a gabillion, and that's a lot, a gabillion. What movie was that when the guy said, yeah, it must have been a gabillion? He says, I presume you mean a lot. Yes, okay. He only made 5, which... Wall Street, maybe? No, it was... But thank you. So I have some great Gregory Wilhelmy. I also have something I found from the assistant curator of the Hermitage. Have you ever heard of the Hermitage? It is the greatest museum in Russia. It's in St. Petersburg. A guy named Igor Klepter wrote this whole article on how great Oleg Zhevetin is and how he is one of the greatest artists he ever seen. I will read parts of this to you tonight. The particular painting by Oleg is a celebration of love, a universal theme that reasons with all of us. And he goes on. This is the vice curator of the world's huge museum. But anyway, I wish I had this. I only have 3 Olegs left, But anyway, we got a lot of great stuff. Matt, let me ask you the question you need to know. Of all the Wilhelmys I have, of all the Wilhelmy documentaries, do you like 1 or 2 better? Which one do you... Just tell me. You can't hurt Jimmy's feelings.
He likes the one with the horses. He believes it's the first one.
No, the first one. But before I show you that, I want to talk to you guys about Gregory Wilhelmy. Give me 1 second. Here we go. This right here, Wilson, is Gregory Wilhelmy. I believe he's at the Yellowstone Art Museum giving a talk. And Gregory Wilhelmy is an artist. He was born in Roundup, Montana, and he went on to create some of the greatest paintings you've ever seen. He has been in the Nicolaisen Museum. He has been in the South Dakota Museum of Fine Art. Here's Gregory Wilhelmy painting a fake building on a building in Billings, Montana, just like the Road Runner. You ever watch that, Jimmy? Yeah, they run right into the building. Yeah, unfortunately, right when Gregory was getting done, a car ran right into him and killed him. No, he didn't. I'm just joking with you. But that's how real it looked, Jimmy. You gonna tell me if Gregory wasn't standing there, you would not believe that's a building?
Not a million years.
Not in a million years, yes. Here is one of the paintings right here. Yellowstone Art Museum annual auction. It's called For a Good Time, Call Roxy. And he's having some fun, yeah. And this sold for a ton of money at the Yellowstone Art Museum. Here is one, Best in Show at the Nicolaisen Art Museum, Bachelor Party. And Gregory's got a sense of humor with some of this, and he is one of the most talented artists. Here is Gregory painting outdoors on his property in Roundup, Montana. And I have some of the rare when it comes to Wilhelmi. And what fascinates Gregory, here's one that he won an award, MVA Galleries, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It's a Gregory collection, but he loves to paint things that are the aftermath of human nature. In other words, this is after a mine shut down. That used to be a big field. And then all of a sudden the town dies, and 5-10 years later there's a field full of empty, broken washer dryers. That appeals to Gregory Wilhelmi. This he got a lot of publicity for. That's Gregory himself. He put himself in. Self-portrait, 1979, something holy to say. I don't get the holy part. Am I missing something with the bud? Because it made it to the front page of the newspaper. Right there. Roundup artist. Yeah. And here he is once more. This is a one-man exhibit at the Bismarck Art Gallery Association. He is as good as they get times two. And he has been so kind to let me sell some of the rare of Gregory Wilhelmi tonight. And oh, I got to show you this one right here. This one, they're all gorgeous, but let me show you this one right here. This is called Color TV. Now, here's what Gregory wrote about this. This is BC 3080. An approaching storm and late afternoon light features the Virginia Motel and the latest accommodations for an enjoyable, I'm reading it half at a time, for an enjoyable stay. 1975 style, Casper, Wyoming. And this is one of only 3. Look at that. He only did 3 of these. He could have sold 100 of these. And you see, look at that, he hand embellished this Chappell. I had a comp where one of his hand embellished Chappells, Jimmy, sold for $17,000. And it would have gone for more, but it was a bizarre 1-hour auction or something. It went for $17,000. This, in most galleries, and he's been in LA galleries, he's been in Casper galleries, he's been everywhere, but this is BC 3080. It's called Color TV. That was a big deal when you stayed in a hotel in 1975. Yeah. Retail on one that he only did 3. I mean, one could even say that's 1/3 as rare as the original. But you'd be wrong. It could be the other way. I don't know. But you're looking at something that's probably only 3. Gregory Wilhelmi, international fame. 18 to 22,000 would be a gallery price on that. I want to show you one more that I want to let Gregory speak for himself. This is one of Patty's all-time favorites. Yes. Can you grab that one? This is Resurrection. Sunrise service on the northern plain, where the howling winds is the preacher's voice and the painted skies is the face of God. This is BC 3071. Yeah. There are 5 of them. It'd still be 18.5 to 21,000 in a gallery. That's how famous Gregory Wilhelmi is. And he could have done 100, but he only wanted to do 5, Jimmy, because he put so much time in embellishing it. It's unbelievable. It is an original. Yeah, at least 18,000 gallery price. Number 1 of 5. I'm going to show one more. And then I am going to show a short. Little. I didn't call you short. No. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you grab this one, Shorty? All right. No, there Jimmy's not short. Just everybody else is a little taller. No, I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm picking on you. I shouldn't pick on you. No, it's not. I'm going to go. No, stop. BC 3075, December. The scene is about a mile west from my boyhood home. The rust and gold colored willow and the reflected blue of the Muscle Shell River makes a spare yet appealing winterscape. It's hard to read that. I haven't read that before. Well, I'm no James Earl Jones. I'm more like Fred Flintstone. Look at this. This is what one of the greatest Western artists of all time. You know, he published, I met him through my mom at Editions Limited, where he published paintings, published posters, and they would sell out. I mean, even though they do runs of 10 and 12 and 20,000, they'd sell. I mean, and then once again, Gregory is a young 79. He might have already turned 80. Don't know. Look at this. This was at, look at that, the Long Road paintings from the Northern Plains. That's what Gregory can do. He's noticing the unnoticeable. He's noticing things that everybody go, that is so beautiful. But very few took the time to say, I'm going to paint a picture of this. And this was at the Nicolaisen Art Museum. And there's a younger Gregory Wilhelmi casually walking through a field. Unlike me or you, Jimmy, there's usually somebody chasing us. Yeah. Later in the show, I'm going to show everybody Floyd's BFF. I came in tonight and I said, Jimmy, you want to see Floyd's BBF? And everybody's going, what the heck is a best friend? Yeah, you know. Yeah. But it's BFF. I'll show you a picture. But anyway, that is one. I have about 10 or 11. I'm going to show one more. One more right here. The Mint. Because this is what a true artist of the Northern Plains notices. Look at this right here. This is Afternoon at the Babcock. Giclée on fine art paper, hand embellished by artist, 1 of 5. Theater marquees from yesteryear have been a favorite subject of mine over the years. The old Babcock Theater in Billings, Montana, announced another attempt to rescue it from the trash bin of history. Now, not only did you get this, where Gregory has signed it and numbered it on the front. Look, I'm going to swing this around, Wilson. Look what Gregory does on the back. He signs it again. Gregory Wilhelmi, 1 of 5. Stuff like that is so important. If you ever get this in a Sotheby's or a Butterfield or Heritage auction. Now, I want to take just a few minutes. We're going to start. This is a presentation I made many years ago, but I want you to listen to Gregory Wilhelmi. This is my cowboy artist of decades. And take a look at this.
I spent a lot of my life judging my success or failure by how impressed other people were with my work. And I know that in the latter part of my life now, I'm trying to impress myself. And I get there every once in a while. I'll get something that I think is special. And you realize that it's not so important what other people think. The saying says you spent the first 20 years of your life worrying about what other people think of you. And you spend the next 20 years of your life not worrying about what other people think about you. And then the next 20 years of your life, you realize that nobody was thinking of you anyway. So. Look at that beautiful knot that I have there. I think my heart basically is still in the West, and with that, the growth of the West, the death of the West, the scenery of the West. But in general, just I find things of visual interest in a lot of different places. And I've been fortunate enough to make a living at this way of life for many years, in spite of what my parents told me. They were only half true. They were only half right. So that's what I do. I'm an artist, a painter. That's all I can remember that I ever wanted to do or to be or seriously considered. I started drawing early on. I drew on everything I could. And we didn't have any art classes or art lessons or anything. It's just something that I thought I was supposed to be and do. And I tell the story of my folks owned a dance hall and a bar in a little town of Roundup, and I tell the story about my father hiring this itinerant artist that came through. He hired him to paint some murals, and I was about 6 or 7 years old, and I remember sitting in that dance hall and watching him paint these murals of the mountains and the streams and the deer and the elk and the cabins and they were, I don't know how hokey they really were, but I was just fascinated by this man and what he could do. And my father worked in construction, and they wanted to be supportive of what I was going to be, but it just wasn't in their vocabulary. They just didn't quite understand it. And when I look back on it, I understand now why they tried to steer me in a different direction, but it didn't work. So when I got out of high school, I started studying art in whatever colleges I went to. I finally graduated from the University of Denver. When I went to college, the art movement in the 60s in the university system was almost 100% devoted to the abstract movements in contemporary art. And for a person who just wanted to go out and learn how to paint or draw something, it was fairly limited. And I took as much life drawing and drawing classes, or as many drawing classes as I could, and I got a degree in fine arts, but I felt woefully uneducated as far as like knowing how to paint and do the things that I wanted to do, and which is some form of representational art. Where I really learned was at the expense of my students at the Colorado Art Institute. I taught life drawing and design and color theory, and I found that I really had to delve into the subject myself and to learn it because these were sharp students and they wanted to know. And so it's been a process. And I tried the commercial art field for a while, and that just didn't do it. I've been fortunate enough that I do paintings that I want to do. I very seldom take on any commission work anymore. Most of my sales come from work that I've done that somebody sees and wants, and that's where I've been fortunate. It's more, I basically paint the things that I want to paint. Whenever I'm asked from other artists or younger people who are trying to make a living at this, and they say, what's the, what do you do to make this happen? And my answer is just be persistent, never give up. Just do what you love and keep doing it. And you'll either make a living at it, or you'll starve with it, or you might do both of it. But it's what you're supposed to do. And I think that has to be true with any art form you're going into. If you're an actor, a dancer, singer, writer, whatever, you know, that rejection is just a big, heavy word. And you know, it's so it's rejection. So, but I think learning that failure there's no such thing as failure. You know, it's a starting point. There's always a starting point. I liked this contemporary realism as a theme, but then it has a more of an impressionistic bent to it as far as the way it's portrayed. So my themes are contemporary, my approach is more impressionistic. And some paintings are very hard for me to part with, that you know, to put them on the market and sell them. So I'd like to keep some of them, and every once in a while I find one, I squirrel it away and keep it. That'll be reminiscent of something that was near and dear to me, that I had some deep feelings for. And I have the next 40 or 50 paintings I'm going to do, I already know what they are. And I'll never get to them. For if I get to them, I hope there's another 40 or 50 out there. So, and that gets easier as I get older. I think for some, you know, that creativity and youth are kind of tied together, and I think that's true, but there's a kind of creativity as you get older that's easier. It's not as desperate. You've failed at so many things already that you can kind of just enjoy the pace that you're at. You know, that there's a peacefulness that comes with it, and you know, that the fear passes to some degree, and you can see things, or at least for me, and see things a little more clearly. I've been fortunate enough that I do paintings that I want to do, and sometimes that leaves off part of the commercial market. Things that are obviously have beauty to them or sentimentality are unfortunately easier to sell at times, and but not always. So I think that one of the great part about being an artist is that it gives you a chance to continue to grow the rest of your life until Alzheimer's sets in, or you get blind like the old dog. But you know, that's the real beauty of this kind of life, is that there's a growth potential there that you probably will never get there, but the dream is always out in front of you.
Hi, folks. That's Gregory Wilhelm in his own words. I showed you the Babcock Theater. Here's one to show you how good he is. He said inspiration from painting Nice, France, 1988, Chappell on fine art paper, number 1 of 5, hand embellished. Look at that. That pops, Jimmy. That's got pop. I'm not talking, forget about snap and crackle. That's got pop. But anyway, this is hand signed, hand numbered. It is a hand embellished clay, BC 3079, 15 to 17,000 on a piece like this in a gallery, but we're not in a gallery, and I'm going to be auctioning these. I just want to show you them all, because when I first started in this business 33 years ago, I would sell 3, then I'd show a 4th one, and someone would go, "Oh man, I bought number 2, I want number 8." And it's like, oh boy. So this, let me show you. This is his kids right here. This is Gregory's kids. Spring Magic. I don't know if his daughters. This is BC 3077. The previous owner of our property was an avid gardener. Our twin daughters were perennial, what's this word?
Maybe perennial?
Perennial amazed and delighted by the abundant beauties. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I can't even get that word right.
Perennially?
If you do, you clean it up, buddy. I'm not going to have any of that. No perennials tonight. All right. Yeah, this is 15 to 17,000. It's signed on the front, signed on the back. It is a hand embellished to clay. And what we are offering you, this is number 1 of 5. Some of the number 1s of his greatest works. And I just want to show you a couple more, then we're going to start auctioning. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We shown that one, right?
That one we haven't.
All right. Here we go. This next one is 3076 Boulder River Road. I was commissioned to create paintings of the celebrated landscape just south of Yellowstone Park, Tom Brokaw's ranch, bordered on the left side of the road. So that's where, hey, if you ever want to break into Tom Brokaw's ranch, I doubt Jane Pauley will be hanging out there. I don't know. They could be a close-knit group. Look at this. Now, folks, that is a hand embellished by Gregory Wilhelmi, 17,500 in an LA gallery, but it is just beautiful. And I just have 2 more to show, 3 more, yeah. Take a look at this. Do you ride horses, Jimmy?
Well, once or twice.
I do too, but I just don't do it well. Yeah, you know.
I got stepped on by a
This is called Benson's Team. After a lunch break on a trail ride from Igormar to Musselshell, Johnny Benson and his son untangled the reins to rehitch the chuck wagon. Can you ride a horse?
I got good at it after a while.
How long is a while?
Well, the first time I ever rode a horse was in Canada, really.
But, all right, let me ask this.
You know,
How many quarters did you go through on the little machine? Did you ride a real horse?
oh, you were at the same market?
Yes. This is beautiful. I got just, well, this one is sold. I just want to say this. I want to thank a new customer, worked a deal with Ashley just from an email blast. So this is sold, but it's called Who Are Those Guys? The real Lone Ranger and his faithful partner are baffled by imposters. And this is sold. This was BC 3073. And I believe it's a friend of Chompers. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the network. Thank you. This is sold though, but it's beautiful. And I'm going to let you have this so we don't sell it again. And I think I have shown them all. Now, folks, I'm going to give you guys great deals. Tell me which one you want to start with. I am going to work you guys deals you cannot believe. These are all 15 to 17,000. I don't think in retail. I can't even, can you spell retail backwards real fast? No, you can't. All right, spell retail backwards real
How
fast.
about frontwards?
Spell it backwards.
L-I-A...
Wrong. All right. You weren't good at spelling, were you?
They're terrific, but they had us spell the words frontwards, so a little bit different.
All right. Here we go. This is one of my favorite ones. This is called Afternoon at the Babcock, BC 3074. You are looking at shadows that make this piece. The story of how they tried several times to interest people in what Gregory as a kid in Roundup, Montana, or in this case, let me see, the old Billings, Montana. That's where Evel Knievel was from. And in the 50s, 60s, it was it was zooming, but then it comes to a point where the movie theater business just kind of died in certain areas. This is stunning. You're talking 17,500 retail. Here's what I'm going to do, Jimmy. I want to get things moving. Where would you start a painting like this? 2,000? We could start at retails for 17.5. We could start at 2,000. But here's what I'm going to do, Jimmy. I'm going to 1,300 to open. I'm going 1,300 to open, $100 increments. That is stunning. Just that name, the Babcock. That's what it looked like in the 50s and the 60s. This, Patty just saw this, and I couldn't believe it. This is a very large, or larger. This is the largest, second largest in the whole shebang. Is that a word?
Yep.
BC 3071, Resurrection. Sunrise services on the northern plain, where the howling wind is the preacher's voice and the painted sky is the face of God. This is number 1 of 5. Hand embellished and polymer surfaced. Look at that. That's like an original. There's only 5 of these. The original's probably worth 80, 90,000 by now. It is just stunning. I'll tell you what I'm going to do on this one. What do you think? Patty, what would you start something like? This is your favorite. Where would you do?
You know what? I would do it
What?
Oh my goodness.
I want it. No.
Because you want it.
This is beautiful.
Large.
Hey, can you come here one to my face for a second? In the words of the late, great Martin Weiss, Jimmy, I'm surrounded by assassins. You want me to open it for that? Are you kidding me?
No, it's a larger one. I think we should.
Oh, no, I just want to prove you right or wrong. Do you think she's right or wrong? If I put that up, will I have more than 3 bidders? What do you think?
2,700, is that what you said?
No, she didn't say 27. I'm talking she's an assassin. All right, I'll tell you. Do you really think that would make it go? How many bidders do you think at that price we will have, Patty? If you had to guess.
Too big. It's too big. I just listen.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it just to see if you're right.
Don't listen to me, Barry. You never listen to me. Why?
I always listen to you. 3071. Hey, look, I listened to you when you called me in jail. I bailed you out, remember? All right, here's what I'm going to do. Oh, this is too cheap. Patty. Jimmy, I'm sort of stuck on doing it because it's in my mind's eye. She's shaking her hand at me.
When she called you in jail, did you end up putting her in an electric chair also?
No.
I would never have you.
Yeah, no, you got fried, Jimmy. $1,000 to open, which is $700 too cheap. I'm just $1,000 to open, $200 increments. I'm sticking my toe in the water right now, Jimmy. If I can't get $1,000 for a piece that everybody that's walked in this studio tonight has stopped and stared at, look at that. It's entitled Resurrection, and that is as good as it gets. And I'm going to give it, oh, watch this, yes. Patty, that was, I would never thought we'd go that low. Sunrise service on the northern plain, where the howling winds is the preacher's voice, and the painted sky is the face of God. Oh, look at that. And this is number 1 of only 5. Who does an edition of only 5? Nobody. I mean, my goodness. Well, I might get lucky here. Oh, I might get lucky. Look at that. Where is that light coming from? Do you see that light, Jimmy? Where is that coming from?
The interrogation room is
Oh, that's the right, it's, something to do with the water. Oh, there's a flashlight.
That's bright.
I think it's a super chief coming.
Yeah. You see that, Wilson? All right, no open on this. All right, I'll tell you what. Let me put up one more. Now, folks, this is number 1 of 5 here. What is it?
Spotlight.
Really?
I'm trying to get a confession.
This is called December by Gregory Wilhelmy. The scene is about a mile west from my boyhood home. The rust and gold colored willows and the reflected blue of the Musashil River made a spare yet appealing winterscape. Number 1 of only 5. Does that eventually turn off?
I moved it.
You didn't move it much, dude.
Yeah, well, okay. I'll move it a little more.
Does that seem bright to you?
Oh, it's not facing over here anymore, so that's okay.
It's what?
It's not facing us anymore, it's completely down over here. But it's bothering me.
Yeah, it's hit me right in the eyes, just like the lineup the other day. There you go. All right. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I told him Romeo did it. Go find Juliana. Yeah, I'll tell you what. This is 17,500. I got. Oh. Should I have people make me offers? Let's work some deals here. Which one are they interested in? Which one? Okay. Okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. Oh, my goodness. This is stunning. Where would you start this?
Honestly, this one I think is my favorite out of all. It just
All right.
So,
All right, I'm going to take a beating on this. I really am.
1800.
1800 is what you want to do? No. Is that smart or bad? All right, I'm going to try one thing, Patty, and I'm walking the plank, Wilson. I'm walking the plank. I'm in trouble if I sell it at this price, and I'm in trouble if I don't sell it at this price. That's walking the plank, Patty. You think is that a dumb price?
I think you're walking the
No. 700 to open. 700 to open. Look at Jimmy's. Yeah. This is 17,000. This is number 1 of only 5 on paper that Gregory Wilhelmy did. This is a treat. This is something you should pass on down to your grandkids, your great grandkids. This is something that Gregory Wilhelmy, he probably spent just on this one piece, number 1 of 5. He probably spent 20, 30 hours on it. Hand embellishing it, hand painting it. So 700 to open. I got to try this because I forgot to do this tonight. Oh, first, Wilson, I got to show everybody. This is my dog. The little brown dog is a Chiweenie. That is Pretty Boy Floyd. the coyote surviving Chewini, who had 2 broken ribs, but they've all healed. He got his cast off. Next to him, and I kept saying his BBF, but it's BFF, his best friend forever, Charlie, a Great Dane. They frolic together. There you go. Here's another picture of him. Charlie follows Floyd wherever he goes. All right. All right. No open on this. Call me up. Tell me which one. I'm superstitious till I sell a couple. I have some amazing Olegs. I have some amazing Schofields. I got some amazing everything here tonight. Call me up. Patty, the first reason, call me. I'm going to sell 2 right now. Wilson, I don't want to give you the wrong idea, all right? I don't want to give you the wrong idea. I'm talking about myself here. And Jimmy. Put me in high heel shoes under a street lamp. That doesn't work, does it? Not for a guy like me? No? No. What about a guy like Jimmy? You're saying maybe. Call me up. I have 9 Gregory Wilhelmies left. Talk to me. Make me some offers. Let's see what we can make happen here. Because I wanna give you guys the greatest deals on the planet. And some of these are history beyond belief. Which one are they interested in? Oh, I'm just setting them up. Yeah, see, tell me which one they're interested in. We can work a deal. Yeah, was it a river? Was it a snow in the scene?
Oh, okay. It's the one on the easel. Yeah, yeah.
This one.
The graphic stuff, what's your first name?
I got a price for them. This is BC 3075.
I'm sorry, L-E.
It's 17 grand. Now, is he superstitious? Because I got a price for them because I'm superstitious. Don't go through life being superstitious. No. I hope I'm not. I hope I'm wrong because I got to travel on 6/6. Yeah.
Good thing it's not 1966.
Hey, I got a price for them if they're interested, Patty.
Okay, repeat that number again.
What's that? Verify. That's a term I invented a long time ago with a guy named Blaine. Yeah. What's going on?
And you're watching on the rack of dish. Which one?
Well, thank you.
Okay, and just you know this one is with us?
Because I can work him a deal of deals. All right, well, I thank them. Oh, I got a price for you too. That's cheap. I'm superstitious. I am. Don't tell anybody I even did that. This is 17,000 retail. This is amazing. It's number 1 of only 5 he did in his lifetime. All right, it might be sold. He's thinking about it. All right, well, I am going to move on to this. Babcock. Oh, that was a steal. Folks, call me up. Talk to me. BC 3074. That is the Babcock Theater. They tried to reopen it several times, and on that day they're showing some very sci-fi movies. What's that? What's playing that day?
Well, Psycho, it looks like.
Psycho.
They shoot horses, don't they?
Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
I don't want to scare you, Jimmy, but I didn't know this till after they fed it to me. When I did a summer at American College of Switzerland, they gave me this thing. They said, "Try this," and it looked like a steak, and I ate it. It was horse meat,
Oh my goodness,
but they told me that's a delicacy.
that explains your love for carrots. Sure, cute.
Folks, this is 17,500. Look at that. That is a hand-embellished clay done by legendary artist Gregory Wilhelmy. Museum shows. I'm showing you pictures of shows at the Nicolaisen Museum, the Yellowstone Art Museum, the South Dakota Art Museum. He is as big time as they come, and I will even show you a couple more pictures of Gregory. And look, right here is some of these prices. Here. This is a postcard, paintings from the Northern Plains at the Nicolaisen. Call me up, make me some offers, folks. Let's just put make me an offer on this. This is one of my favorite pieces of the last 6 months. And I will make your day. Call me up, make me some offers. Look at that. I can put my glasses on. My eyesight's getting bad. Yeah. Make me some offers. Look at the shadows across the movie title Mint and the Babcock. Look at the window curtains above the theater in Billings, Montana. Look down that empty street where you can see 4 or 5 blocks down there in the shadows. This is an artist. He only made 5 of these. This is number 1 of 5. Make me some offers. Call me up. We have operators standing by.
Do you go to movie theaters like that when you were a kid? Like every kid? Most
Yes.
Kid, right?
Yes.
That traditional marquee.
Yeah, but I learned a few things. When I was watching Planet of the Apes, it got scary at times. So I started rooting for the apes.
How'd that work out for you?
It worked out great because the people, everybody got killed in that movie.
That was really the Statue of Liberty, man.
I don't know about that. Any offers on this? All right, I'll tell you what. Which is your favorite piece remaining? Jimmy, all right. Let's pull that one up. Pull that one up.
So vibrant.
It's a good word, vibrant. Spell it backwards quickly. All right. All right, we'll just put that one back down there. All right. As Jimmy Gerstel said, this is so vibrant. Can you use the word vibrant in a sentence quickly?
I wish you had a vibrant personality. I mean, you have a vibrant personality.
All right. This is BC 3079. Hand embellished by artist. Jaclay on fine art paper. Flower market. Number 1 of only 5 done. Look at that. Folks, I got a lot of art tonight. I'm Oh, look at those pineapples and bananas in that fruit market over there. Not there, behind you, right there.
Oh,
I didn't even notice that till a second ago. And look at the prices. This must be Marketplace, 1984 prices. I'm just going to put it right on top. Look at this, folks. This is BC 3078, inspired from painting Athens, Greece in 1984. Giclée on fine art paper, 11 by 14. Artist hand embellished, number 1 of 5. Marketplace. And look at that. Look at that. You have, look at the prices on this in Greece in 1984. They've had like 12 currencies since then. Well, back then it was like the drachma or something.
Yeah,
Yeah. That seems very fair.
it sure does.
Yeah. Call me up. 17 grand is the retail. Call me up. Talk to me. Thank him. Thank you very much.
Sam.
What's his name?
Sam.
Thank you, Sam. Did she just bark at me? What would you call that noise she just made? It was, Wilson, what's that noise she just made at me? Oh, a cackle? You cackled at me? You cackled at me? She cackled at me. Did she ever cackle at you? So you cackled with her.
She's a cackler from way back.
20 years way back.
That's right.
Make me some offers, folks. Call me up. I also have plenty of other art. I thank Sam. Sam bought a piece. Thank you. All right. Now, I'll tell you what. What I'm going to do is here's what I'm going to do. Take them both down and let me put this one here. And let me put this one right here. And hand me the Babcock. Now, folks, this is a really important show, and I've been maybe joking around way too much. These are the great works of Gregory Wilhelmy. This is his personal archive collection. This is stuff he put away for his kids. These are number 1 of only 5. I mean, galleries sell these for 15, 17, 20,000. I have comps right here, Jimmy, of prices that his work has brought at Telluride, Colorado, and other places, and different paintings that have sold. These are all the number 1s. I have these 3. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's see. What do you think? What would you do with these, Patty?
I would give Patty resurrection and sell it. I don't know, whatever you want, Barry. Just do it. Just do it.
Let's focus in on this. This is possibly one of the greatest Gregory Wilhelmys I've ever seen. There's only 5 of them. This is number 1 of 5. This is something that Gregory has put away. He painted this, let's see, Resurrection, Sunlight, probably 25 years ago. He says, I'm going to make some Giclées. He only made 5. This is number 1 of 5. Here's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to give you guys a deal that no one else on this planet could give you. Matt, this is item number, here, if you can hold this. Yes, 7 BC 3071. Now, folks, Here's what I'm going to do. And I this is so amazing. This is one of my favorite. Look at those clouds. $750 to open, $100 increments once we get the open. This is one of the centerpieces of the show. This is as good as it gets. Look at that. You are there. That's what good art does. It puts you right there. You see those unbelievable clouds and the emptiness and how Gregory pulls it all together. Number one of only 5, $17,000, $18,000 gallery price, and I got it at $750 to open. Look at that. That's so cheap. Jimmy, that is a mistake at that price. I mean, you're talking about one of the most important paintings. I believe this painting, here it is, Jimmy. Here it is. This is the Nicolaisen Art Museum. What painting is hanging on that wall there? Come in close if you can. Resurrection. That's the original. At the Nicolaisen Art Museum. Hanging there. That's probably a $70,000, $80,000 painting now. Unlike many artists who did thousands or hundreds, Gregory Wilhelmy said, yes, I sold the original, but I am going to make 5 giclées. I am going to hand embellish each one so they look like it is original. It's an original giclée that's been hand embellished. And this is number 1 of 5, which is $17,000 in a gallery. And this is a picture of the painting at the Nicolaisen Art Museum. This painting hung at the art museum, the original to this. Folks, at $750 to open, you cannot do any better anywhere, anytime, ever. So we'll put that graphics back up at $750 to open. Yes. Look at that.
Did you say Montana?
It's
Big Sky Country. Right?
yes, it is. Yes. It's humbling when you get out there. No open once. I can feel it, Patty. Someone's thinking about this. And I am going to move on. I got to get Gregory to come on this show. Once again, he lives in Montana, you know. I'm going to move on. I want to show you a very important artist. I'm going to move on to David Lloyd Glover. He is one of the all-time great artists. He is an impressionist painter. He was one of the most successful artists that ever went to Japan with art brilliance. He set records. He was a person that art brilliance and the Japanese art industry basically came up with the term dowry worthy, because people would buy and bid for his works, and they would always ask, is this dowry worthy? And the answer is yes. David Lloyd Glover is an amazing artist. Now, look at that. Look at that. Now, Matt, I think you have the pictures of the 5 David Lloyd Glovers we have tonight. David Lloyd Glover is one of the most successful artists you could ever want. Paintings you're looking at right there would go for $150,000, $170,000 at Art Brilliance in Japan. You know, if it went for $80,000, people would be asking, what happened? I mean, that is how much original David Lloyd Glovers are worth. Look at that. Well, I have 5 here that I'm going to put up on the screen. There you go. Look at that. Are you looking at that, Jimmy? That is stunning. Acrylic on canvas. Golf Course Dawn. Look at that. Look at the reflection. Yeah. Oh, that is stunning. That's acrylic on canvas. Retail somewhere between $19,000 and $24,000. He set records in Japan. Now, Japan got a little crazy in the 1980s, Jimmy. The Nikkei topped out, and it took like 30 years to get back to that level. But you look at those reflections. I only have 5, and I want to show them all to you so people don't go, oh, I wouldn't have bought that if I had seen this one coming. Oh, that is beautiful. Look at that color field. That's amazing, Jimmy. All right, let's see the next one. Ho, 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 ho. Teton Lake. Look at that shadow. I've never seen an artist that can paint a reflection better than David Lloyd Glover. Usually I show you a little docudrama because he used to be in advertising. There's pictures of him getting every award you can imagine in Japan. He painted in what that was in Massachusetts somewhere. That Shelby car, which one was it? You guys remember? Wilson, do you remember? Rhode Island, yes. And he did the original painting for one of the rarest Mustangs of all, and they paid like $90,000 for that painting to hang in the car museum. They called David Lloyd Glover. All right, let me show you the third one. Ho, 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 ho. Acrylic on canvas, Sunset Sea. Yeah, you're talking $19,000, easy. Retail, list price, $19,000. Jimmy, you remember what they used to say, red sky at night, sailor's delight. Red sky by morn, sailors take warn. Yeah, list $19,000. And this is just stunning. Oh, look at that. Here comes the next one. Unbelievable. Dusk on, what is that, Nepali shores. Nepali shores. Is that in India? Nepali. we will look it up. Maybe somebody watching lives there. Maybe they own the Napoli hardware store. And they're going to call up and say, Barry, you're an idiot. And I said, I know I'm an idiot, but they're going to tell me where it is. Look at that. The use of color is brilliant. And here comes the next one. Autumn on the Hudson. And where is Napoli? It's in Hawaii? Maui. I've been to Maui. You lived on Maui? What did you do for a living?
Tour guide.
Tour guide?
And I also shot some golf videos.
You shot golf videos. Can you play golf?
I used to.
Okay, good for you. I can't. I tried. All right here. Those are our 5 David Lloyd Glovers.
Glover just texted, he says Napoli is a boy.
Who says that?
Glover.
Thank you, David. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I want to get everybody involved in this. Okay. Give me 1 second. Yes. Here's what I am going to do. Which ones do you like the best? I only have 5. The very first one?
Yeah. Golf course Dawn.
Golf Course Dawn. We're going. What's that?
They're all beautiful. The first one.
The first one. We'll go back to Golf Course Dawn. Look at that. Yeah, Matt will find it. There it is. Yes. Tell you what I'm going to do, folks. You're looking at an amazing painting. 15, 13, 18,000. I mean, it's amazing. And it's an original, one of a kind, the only one. And what I'm going to do is, folks, watch this, Patty. Are you watching this?
Okay.
600 to open, $150 increments once we get. Yeah, that's amazing. It's up there for 600 to open. Folks, at 600 to open, it's a gift. That is an original David Lloyd Glover. Look at those reflections. Even if you took you couldn't take a picture of that nice. And to have oil acrylic on canvas at 600 to open. Let's move to the next one. They are stunning. Oh, that is absolutely amazing.
I like that one as much too.
About 30 years ago, let's see, we're in 2024. About 1986, '85, I drove through the Grand Tetons with a geologist whose name was Jack Conley. He looked for oil and natural gas. I could not believe how beautiful the Tetons were. It was just unbelievable. $700 to open, $100 increments. Look at those reds, the reflection. That cranberry color, it's just unbelievable. You could almost feel that side grass. I mean, look at it. It's just amazing. It's a perfect painting. I'm looking at the monitor. Look at that. I mean, that is a perfect. That should be 70,000, but it's not. One of the best prices on TV. That's why I've been on TV. I'm in my 33rd year. Here comes the next one. Unbelievable. Sunset Seas. 700 to open. Look at those waves. You can feel the mist coming off of the waves when it hits the breaker rocks there. That is what one of the greatest artists on the planet could do. And Patty, what I'm going to do tonight is hang on, I'm going to think about that. Let me go to the next one, Matt. Unbelievable. Dusk at Napoli Shores, which is in Hawaii, which our cameraman Wilson informed me. Maui is what he's...
Glover says that the waves are crashing the lava rocks.
The waves are what?
Crashing on the lava rocks.
On the lava rocks.
Must be Hawaii also.
That's what he said, yeah.
Yes.
That's what they call it.
David Lloyd texted Patty to say that is waves crashing on the lava rocks. Oh, it's just beautiful. $750 to open. Folks, I don't know where you could get a more important artist with a better reputation as far as value of a painting than David Lloyd Glover. $750 to open. $100 increments once we get the open. And I think I have one more left to price. And then, Matt, just so everybody understands how important David Lloyd Glover is, I want to show you just a very short, I mean, it's not that long film I made on him. He is art brilliance. He is one of the greatest artists, whether you're talking Japan, East Coast or West Coast, east side of the world or west side. Autumn on the Hudson. Look at that foliage that he's painted on there. Yeah. $750 to open, which is a steal. I came prepared because you have some very important hockey games going on tonight, and they take up two of our biggest markets. I don't know if you knew that, Wilson. Yeah. So I was a little worried. What I'm going to do now, I think I have, when you get a second, Matt, camera 2, when you get a second. What I want to do is take a few minutes and show you who David Lloyd Glover is. please watch this. Please. In the value of art, there's so many. I've been doing this for 33 years. One of the first people to have an art show on TV. My very first show was Editions Limited Art Show after my mom's gallery. It was an awful show because I didn't understand. I did it on the longest day of the year, Wilson, June 21st. When you should be on the shortest day when it's cold and dark and people are watching TV. In January and December, but no, I come up on the worst day, but you learn over time. Take a look at David Lloyd Glover in his own words.
I'm David Lloyd Glover, and art is my life. I've been an artist for the last 40 years. I've made my entire living working in the art field. When people ask me what my style is, I usually describe it as vivid impressionism, and that's because of the color palette that I use. And it's not so much about, am I a landscape painter, a seascape painter, or am I a still life painter, representational painter. I paint all things. There is a Glover signature. Collectors tell me there's something they see in my work, regardless of subject matter. They recognize my use of vivid colors, and there's a real resonance that they feel when they view one of my paintings, and particularly when they own one of the paintings. It has real emotional impact to them. When I was about 4 years old, my father took me to his favorite movie, and he took me to see Disney's Fantasia. And that was a whole wide world emotional thing that happened to me. You know, being in a big movie theater, the big screen, and seeing this artwork come to life, I was completely knocked off kilter. And my father explained to me that those aren't real things. I thought that was a real world. He said, no, those are all drawings. It was that mind-blowing experience that my father took me to that started me on this track of having to create, and I was voracious. I was drawing on everything. So they were getting me big stacks of paper, and I was filling them up as fast as I could, drawing everything that I saw on television, like Buck Rogers, Gene Autry, Roy Rogers. I mean, I was just out of my mind. It started there, and it never stopped. I'm always thinking of the person who is going to view the painting and what perspective they're going to have on it, particularly if they're going to be the owner of that painting. It becomes their personal possession and therefore their personal vision. The passion isn't to entertain me. It's not about what I think or what I feel so much. I think about what it would affect somebody else and how I could deeply impact their psyche. I want to bring out human emotions in a way that is calming, serene, exciting. If it's a brilliant sunset or something, it's all about emotions. That's what paint is. My paintings are really expressions of emotion. The moment that I realized I was gaining a reputation in art was when my Brentwood gallery was having an exhibition for me, and I walked into a very busy gallery full of people waiting to see me. I noticed that Olivia Newton-John was standing right in front of one of my paintings. I'm new to Los Angeles, and I'm going, wow, that's Olivia Newton-John. And we're just having a one-on-one conversation like I'm an equal to her. We live here in Los Angeles, and it's the entertainment capital of the world and certainly the creative center of the world. As a result of that, I've created a lot of paintings which celebrate the cultural history of Hollywood with famous icons of American pop culture. did a painting of Django Reinhardt. He was the famous gypsy European jazz guitarist from the 1930s and 1940s. Anybody who plays guitar, that is his hero, because there's just nobody else like Django Reinhardt. I finished the painting, I took it in, and the gallery director said to me, "Dude, that's a great painting, but I don't know who the heck that is." Along comes Kim Campbell, Glenn Campbell's wife. She took one look at this painting, went, "Oh my God." And she ran back down the street, grabbed Glenn Campbell out of another store, took him up to the gallery and said, "Glenn, look at that." And of course, that was it. He fell in love. That is his hero. Glenn Campbell is one of the greatest guitarists in the world ever. His hero is Django Reinhardt. So Glenn Campbell bought the painting. I've had a lot of artists that inspire me. I was at a show of Andrew Wyeth. When you see an Andrew Wyeth original painting, you realize he's really an artist's artist. They're wonderful compositions. His sense of light, of time and place are just outstanding, and it's very inspiring. Another artist is John Sargent. Although he was a portrait painter of great renown, he was also a wonderful impressionist painter who had great facilities to paint just about anything. His ability to capture a place and time was just outstanding. He would pride himself in painting a whole string of pearls with essentially a single brushstroke. I grew up in a city called Victoria in British Columbia. I lived 6 doors down from Emily Carr, and she is probably one of the greatest impressionist painters that ever lived. And certainly in the realm of women painters, Emily Carr inspired Georgia O'Keeffe, and here I'm literally 6 doors down from her studio. The impact of seeing her work completely floored me. Her paintings were just unbelievable. For the way an artist thinks and how an artist approaches his life, I turned to my mentor, Sid Barron, who became, over the years, what's considered a Canadian national treasure in the world of art and published art. He and I became friends when I was about 18, I think, at the time, when I first met Sid. And I went to meet him at his studio, and I went down the hallway to that studio door, and it's blank, glass window, rapped on the window, door opens, and this guy who looked like Art Carney from the Honeymooners looked at me and he said, "Huh, what do you want?" And I said, "Well, my name is David Glover and I'm an artist and I really wanted to meet you and whatever." And he reached out and he grabbed me by the shirt and pulled me inside and said, "Get in here," closed the door. And he said, "Now what was that again?" At first he was a little shocked because nobody would ever come to his door. He was a recluse. But shortly thereafter we became fast friends and we became friends for years. And he really was my artistic mentor. He was not an artist who was telling me how to do things technically. It was really about philosophy, and it was about life experience. Sid prepared me for the rejection and sharing his life experience on what it's like as an artist to present your portfolio and constantly being rejected. And for me not to lose heart, expect to be rejected was what he would tell me. You make 10 presentations, you make 20 presentations, but eventually somebody will say yes and you'll be accepted. His guidance is what propelled me to pursue my career professionally.
昔々あるところに
One of the most poignant moments early in my career was I was invited to Tokyo to have a one-man show with an art dealer there known as Art Brilliant. And Art Brilliant was, certainly at the time, the largest art dealer in the world. I went to an exhibition where it was kind of beyond description. There was over 850 people. The pomp and circumstance they put on, a ceremony of having an artist there live and in person, to them was really something big. At that show, I was sold out that evening. It was just over 100 original paintings. I realized I had an awful lot of work to do because I signed an exclusive contract for Asia that went on for the next 17 years. Although it was very difficult to perform at such a high level for so many years, the result to me was that there really isn't anything that I can't do. Living in Southern California gives me the inspiration of light and atmosphere, but my broad, vivid landscapes that I create are from my memories of where I grew up in British Columbia. Those images live with you forever. When I want to create a stunning wilderness landscape or a mountainous lake, I go right back to when I was young. My studio is unique in that I have an eastern exposure. So in the morning I control my lighting through the shutters, and I'm able to direct the light onto the canvas area to essentially color correct, because I can get a very clean color. As the day progresses, I move the shutters because the sun is rising above and then sets into the west. Even when the sun is setting, I get a specific style or type of light that comes in through the windows. When I have one of my paintings sold, I never really know whether the same emotions and message that I'm trying to impart in this painting actually transcends to the collector. It's the human part of us that perceives what we see and what we feel as art, because we can go to that extra level, and there it becomes art. My inspiration will come from some emotional and visual impact, and then I will express it in my paints, in my mediums. I want people to see the remnants of the artist. I want them to see a piece of art. I'm telling a story, either it's a narrative story by what you see going on in the scene, or it's strictly an emotional story. It's a response that you have to a particular light effect, a view down a country road, you imagine what's at the end of that road or where it's leading you to, or it's nostalgic. It reminds you of when you were growing up, or it reminds you of an important time in your life. Maybe it was your first romance. You were in a setting just like you see in this painting. So it touches this on a very base level. Art is something that chooses you. Your ability to create in any kind of medium just comes innately, and it starts when you're very young. Certainly in my case it did. You feel this need to create all the time, no matter what you're doing. But it's not something that I think that you decide one day, you wake up and say, okay, let's go to school and be an artist. It has to come from within. Art is something that's always in your left ear telling you, yeah, it's time to paint. It's time to paint, David. You kind of follow the direction that all forces are leading you in. I have done other things in my life, but art is always the mainstay. It has been a constant in my life since I was 4 years old, and it's a constant today. Everything I do in my life revolves around creativity.
Folks, that was David Lloyd Glover in his own words. And what I want to do, I hope after seeing this from his work at Disney, all the places he's worked, the value, and you saw some pictures of him at the Art Brilliance art auction where they're greeting him. It's amazing. But I want to show you, I have 5 David Lloyd Glovers. I thought they'd all be gone by now. Let's pull up which one, that first one. That first one is one of the, everybody that's walked in this studio looks at this first one and goes, I can't believe it. That is beyond belief. A golf course dawn. Look at that. It is absolutely stunning. And I put this up so cheap. What did I have this up for?
I don't want to say it. 600, yeah.
I made a big mistake, yeah. I could have been dishonest and changed it, but I'm not. I made a big mistake in pricing this one. I hope there's 3 or 4 bidders because I put it up at 600 to open. That was a mistake. No, I put it up at 600. That was a mistake I made. And so I'm going to honor that. I hope there's 2 or 3 bidders because I can't buy it for that. And I could have changed it like they want me to, but you know, 600 is what I said. I'm going to honor that. And if nobody buys this, I am so lucky. I'm lucky and unlucky, Jimmy. I'm lucky nobody bought it because I sold it too cheap, and I'm unlucky because nobody's watching me. or they're watching me and okay.
The stillness of the water is amazing, isn't it?
In it, yeah.
To be able to capture that, not a single breeze or anything, it's mirrored.
It is. It's beautiful. Here comes the next one. If you don't own any art, you could not start with a better artist than David Lloyd Glover. Oh. This will make your day, week, month, year, and decade. At $750 to open, you are looking, look at that reflection. That is stunning. I didn't do that. Everybody's looking at me. Because these are phenomenal. Look at that. Here comes the next one. Only have 5. At 600 to open, no, 750, my bad, 750 to open. You are talking about Sunset Sea. That is absolutely amazing. Oh. Oh, look at that. And I want to thank you for watching. Whether you buy anything or not, I just hope you enjoy the show because David Lloyd Glover's the top of the top. Here comes the next one. Look at that, Autumn on the Hudson. 750 to open. Amazing. Now, Jimmy,
Yes, sir.
in a minute, I'm going to have you read this out loud. No, this. And I'd start where the city he was born in. Okay.
Tashkent in Uzbekistan.
Yes. Folks, I hope you, let me go to camera 2. I hope you're interested. We have some of the greatest David Lloyd Glovers of all time. And I thank you for watching that. They're still available. Call me up. But I want to put this up right now. Say what? Oh. I want to put this up because I want Jimmy. This was written by Igor. Give me a second. I have it over here. Igor Kender.
K-E-N?
Kender. Igor Kender,
Igor Kender.
who is the vice chairman of the Hermitage. And he wrote something up about Oleg Zhevetin. This is the guy that secures the art for the greatest art museum on the planet. I spent 3 weeks at the Hermitage. Can you read that while I show people BC 2950?
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to a work of art that is not just a painting, but a symphony of colors, a dance of light and shadow, a visual poetry that speaks directly to your soul. This is a masterpiece by none other than the celebrated artist Oleg Zhevetin. Born in the city of Tashkent in Uzbekistan, in the former Soviet Union, Oleg Zhevetin's journey in the world of art has been nothing short of extraordinary. His paintings are a testament to his exceptional talent, his unique style, and his unwavering dedication to his craft. This particular painting by Oleg Zhevetin is a celebration of love, a universal theme that resonates with all of us. Its recognizable fractured color style. His recognizable fractured color style. The numerous layers of paint all contribute to the richness and vitality of colors in his artwork. As you gaze upon this painting, you'll be captivated by the intricate details, the delicate brushstrokes, the harmonious blend of colors. Each element in this painting has been meticulously crafted, reflecting Oleg's passion for art and his mastery over his craft. But what truly sets this painting apart is its ability to evoke emotions, to stir feelings, to touch hearts. It's like a mirror reflecting your thoughts, your emotions, your experiences. It's a conversation starter, a statement piece, a work of art that will add a touch of elegance to any space. So come, be a part of this artistic journey. Experience the magic of art. Own a piece of history. This painting is not just for the art. Good enough for you?
Yes.
You got it.
Here is Art Brokerage, Oleg Zhevetin.
Continued later.
Yeah, a larger painting. Asking price $95,000, retail $104,000. He is a master graduate of the Surikov in Russia. There is a class at the Surikov. Vasily Ivanov Surikov. What's that? Hi. There's Oleg. About 2 years ago in my apartment with Ginger. Dogs love him. That dog runs from everybody except Oleg. This is the first time I ever met Oleg. I kept trying to meet him when he worked for Collector's Editions. And I would call Collector's Editions, and they'd always say, he lives in Moscow. Barry, we love you, but don't call us. He's out of the country. He was 112 miles from me. And once I found where he lived, I went over there and we worked some great deals. And for the last 19 years, I've been buying a lot of his work. He sold, once he left Collector's Editions, he sold 12 paintings on his own for at least $100,000 each. He is one of the all-time greats. This one right here is called The Admirer. I have prices in mind. These are it. We are done. I have 4 Olegs left. Then they are all gone. Now, take something like this. What does it have the retail up for? I gotta get where my 85,000. Yes. Here's what I can do. I only have 4 left. Let me show you the 4 Olegs. I mean, he is unbelievable. This is one of the largest Olegs I have. It is BC 2947, called Appreciation. Now, what he is showing you in different shades of yellow, is that coming across on the TV well, Matt? Can they see all the... This is a more gloomy but kind of enlightening painting where you have a house and they appreciate it. The love of the family. He's trying to say all that. And look at that. This retails for well over $100,000. He got his master's degree from the Surikov. He is one of their most notable graduates. They are next year, and I had to talk him into it, Jimmy. He always thinks there's a hidden meaning, Oleg. And, you know, in a lot of things, financial things, he'll talk to us about the dollar and bonds and everything. But I said, Oleg, they ask you to be the lecturer, the valedictorian, the speaker at the Surikov art graduation. No, they tricked me. They're not tricking you. They're paying your way. Yeah, they want something. No, they want you to speak because you're one of the most successful artists. I mean, it's just amazing. And, you know, so I'm hoping he will be their speaker in 2025. They offered. So this is one of the largest Olegs we have. Patty, what am I? Yeah, there we go. I only have 4, yes. And this is just delicate. Okay. Let me show the last 2, and I hope I can talk you into an Oleg when you have the deputy in charge of acquiring art for the Hermitage write about Oleg like that. Here, these 2 are mixed media. Here we go. I'm just going to hold it up right here. Jimmy, maybe you could hold this up so gently. It's called Reflections. It is acrylic and pastel and watercolor and oil all on a piece of paper. That's what Oleg does. He uses geometrical shapes to convey a message. And I mean, I'm just looking at it from the back. I see circles, squares, cubes, triangles, rectangles. What other shapes are there, Jimmy?
My favorite one.
Which one?
Rhombus.
Rhombus. Look at that right there. A face in a face. You got it, Wilson. That means that this person has multiple feelings about the other side, the guy that is in shadow. Then the girl, she's talking to him, but she has different feelings. She's not even sure how she feels, but she's not sure he's being true or she's being true. Then you have this other lady in blue. I mean, this is, what is the title of that? It's on the back. Reflections. That's Oleg Zhevetin. And I have one other Oleg entitled The Touch. Now, this is oil and acrylic on paper with some pastel. The Touch is absolutely amazing. Jimmy eloquently read something from the deputy curator of the Hermitage. Do you think that was favorable? Quite, yes. Look at that. Here's what I can do on this. Patty, what is my cost in the computer on the Touch? Okay, I got you. I'm going. I'd love to leap tall paintings, but I never could, and I certainly can't at my age. So, I'll tell you what. Let's start on the admirer. Yeah, right here. I thought this was one of the greatest ones in this last deal with Oleg. He had someone that was 1 year after him, formed a nice lady, formed a business in Moscow. They were getting $150,000 in advance for commission paintings. That's how good Oleg is, and that's how important the Surikov is. Early on when I met Oleg, I used to make fun of him. I go, yeah, the Surikov, that's where great dancers come from. And he gets so frustrated. Yes, Barry, dancers do come from Surikov, but greater artists come from Surikov. Ever hear of Ivanov Surikov, the master painter? That's who they named it. It's also called the Russian Academy of Fine Art in Moscow. All right, I'll tell you what, on this one, are you ready for this? Folks, I hope you're out there. $3,200 to open. $100 increments. If you don't own an Oleg, I am down to 4. And you won't get another chance. I mean, I have comp after comp after comp. Oleg knows the Russian art market. Oleg knows the value of his work. And we are so lucky to have any Oleg Zhevetin. Born in Uzbekistan, and by the time he was 6 or 7, the officials in Uzbekistan noticed how talented it was. They sent him to a special school to become an artist. He graduated with his first college degree when he was 19, 18. Then he applied at age 19, and 18 didn't get in, but at 19 got into the Surikov, where he got his master's degree. A painting at the Surikov hangs in his honor. That's how important Oleg Zhevetin is. Here, Patty, on this extra large appreciation. This is a study in yellows. He's taking a very dull and depressing scene, but make it alive in the tiniest way. This is huge too, 5,500 to open. See how they're all staring at the house? And you have this ladies, look at them. And look at that. It looks like coat after coat after coat. And Oleg will do that. I've watched him paint. Must be perfect, Barry. And he is. Stunning work of art. And now let me show you the last two. Matt, which one do you like better as far as showing people who Oleg is? Oleg 1 or Oleg 2? Which one do you like, Wilson? When Wilson talks, people listen. Which one? Oleg 2. We're going to show that in a second, but at 2,500 to open, BC 2960. I want to get it so there you go. Faces in faces. Every geometrical shape you can think of is in this. And the drama of a face in a face. Is it true? That's what she wants to know. Is he telling me the truth? Look at that plane. I once made a mistake of saying to Oleg, then once you get all this done, you paint the hand. He got so mad, Jimmy. I paint hand? Paint hand. You ever paint hand, Barry? Hang on to this for a second, Jimmy. Do you know how many different directions hand move? When 2 fingers are up, 1 finger is down, which way is shadow? I said, so you paint the hands. No, I do more than paint the hand, Barry. That got him mad that day. I also had a pull-up contest with him in Santa Monica. We called it quit after 18. I think he probably won because I was doing him. He was smoking while he was doing pull-ups. But he was winded by the time you get to 18 pull-ups.
Where was the smoke coming out?
His mouth, the cigarette. All right, look at that. That is stunning with the face in the face. 2,200 to open on Oleg. And folks, if you saw anything tonight, a Wilhelmi, a David Lloyd Glover, I'm going to go back to some Wilhelmis here. I got a lot of great art. But before I do that, I want to show Oleg, which part of Oleg, 1 or 2, which one did you say? Oleg 2. Take a look at this. It's very short, but I want you to hear Oleg in his own words.
Actually, I live here in the United States about 17 years. Why? Because I was invited to work here. And it's a very strange story. People saw my artwork actually on the street. When Soviet Union was strong, it was not allowed any private enterprise. I start showing my artworks right in the street. And some entrepreneurs, some American-Russian entrepreneurs saw my artwork, they invite me here. They invite me here in the United States. And I came here in 1990. I didn't speak any language at all, any English. I had $0 in my pocket. And this is why that country is great. I start work and I start have success. My subject matter very simple. Very simple is I paint mostly romantic paintings. I paint appreciations to the good relationship between people. That's it. Most of my paintings, it's a female and male. And male sometimes give her a letter or a flower. She can read the letter or see that beautiful flower, and she can appreciate his honest suggestions to her. Very simple. Why I like that? I tell you why. Because I don't want to produce any negativity. It's already so much negativity in our world, in the movies, in the paintings too, in the music. I try to work in that areas, but I don't want to do it anymore. I tell you why. How many years I'm gonna live? Maybe another 40 years, maybe 30, no more. After all my life I work in, I want to keep some paintings, and public gonna keep that paintings in their collection as something positive. So people, when they look, they have to have pleasure from what they look on. They have to have pleasure. Yes, we have negatives, a lot of negative around us, but I believe if we move our attention to more positive, everybody as a society, we're gonna have positive. It's simple as this. Through the deep psychology, we as a humans, a lot of us don't have a simple one nature. Everybody, even simple workman somewhere in the factory, we all have deep psychological differences even inside us. Each person sometimes can have 2 or 3 faces. It doesn't mean that person liar, or it doesn't mean that person a bad person. No. It's a sophistication of any human being. It's a sophistication of our internal psychological depths. It's multidimensional of any human being. Art is one of activities close to the intellectual life of the human beings. Why it's important? I tell you why it's important. Because we are human beings, we are not animals. I think the art is the highest expression of human brain. In any positions, in literature, music, or visual arts, or mathematics. Mathematics, the high-end mathematics is art too. It's very important because we are human beings. It's just one thing what divides us from rest of animal kingdoms. If tomorrow human beings decided to save that planet, they can save that planet. If tomorrow human beings decided to destroy that planet, they can destroy that planet. The difference, simple lion or simple monkey or chimpanzee, they cannot do that. But we are humans, we have tremendous power in our hands. And everything belongs to us, to our decision. Art is just one side of all that intellectual powers. That's why it's important. Human beings can have different pleasures. psychological pleasures, pleasures from music, physical pleasures through touch, pleasures from food, pleasures from relationship. And art is another area where people can get huge pleasures, tremendous pleasures, especially if you understand. If you can teach yourself how to appreciate art, you can get a lot of pleasures from it. You can see some beautiful painted details or expression on a face or combination of colors or combination of colors and textures. You can have huge pleasure for your mind and for your eyes. Enrichment, pleasure, it's just pleasure. It's why Medicis in the past, in 15th century, they were not stupid. They pay a lot of money to Raphael or to Michelangelo to paint something good, Because we have such a short time live in that world. The longest life is about 100 years, no more. It's nothing. It's 100 years. Some people live 50 years, 30. My little brother was killed in a car accident. He died when he was 33. Very young guy. We have such a short life to spend that, so my philosophy, try and enjoy every minute, everything. Try and enjoy every hour. Don't go into any stressful situation. You don't need to. Try and enjoy, try to make your life happy. Try to make your life happy. That's it, this is my philosophy. I'm gonna make a lot of money, it's good. If I don't make a lot of money, I make a little bit money or no money at all, it doesn't matter, I have to paint. I just cannot do anything else.
Hi, folks. That was Oleg Zhevetin in his words. He is a Russian master painter. He paints what you would call Russian Romanticism, but where he differs from everybody else is he uses geometrical shapes and symbols to express the emotions that they're feeling. And, you know, if you look right here in the admirer, look at that. Look at the eyes, the blue eyes. The face is as smooth as you can make it, yet you get to the hair and you can see right here the hair rising up. This is an original oil on board. It is beautiful. It is 2956. Call me up. Oleg Zhevetin is one of the all-time greatest artists I've ever met, period. You know, to make your way from Uzbekistan all the way to the Surikov and be considered the top of your class. I mean, it ain't easy. And he did it. And he also has a sense of humor. This is him when he was about a while ago delivering art here. I said, Oleg, let's take a beef. He just gets behind me. Peace. Yeah, but Oleg Zhevetin, look at this. This is collector's editions. All of these editions he did for collectors. All sold. And when you're talking about an original, what did I have this up for, Matt? 2956. Was it 3,200, I believe? Yes. 3,200. That is an original Oleg on board. Signed on the front, signed on the back. And you can get this for 3,200 to open. Call me. I mean, you're talking about Oleg Zhevetin. You heard what the curator of the Hermitage had to say about him. So we got that to go. And I'll tell you what, I'll work you a deal on this. I have not explained this painting the way Oleg did, but I got to get it under some light, Jimmy, so they can I think you're blocking the light right there. There you go. You can see it's a study in yellows. And he's trying to give you a feeling of despair and happiness at the same time. They are grateful for the house, the household, and their family, but they also look like it's pretty darn cold in Russia. Yes, and but we're going to make it, I mean, this is amazing. It is huge, 48 by 30, oil on canvas, and I had this up at 5,500, 2947. This is one of the largest Olegs, and it grows on you because you walk past it and you see something different. Like that third person, you don't even see her at the beginning. You see that one right? Yeah, I mean, it is amazing. So give me a call on this. And Jimmy, I'm going to hand you this. And when you can get an Oleg Javetin original like this for $2,200, acrylic on paper, look at that. This is 2960. Call me. We'll work some deals. See what you have to say. All right, Jimmy, I am going to move these away, and I'm going to put up a couple more Wilhelmies because I'm running out of time. There we go. The Admirer. All right. Now, what I'm going to do, Jimmy, the one that I was certain when I showed you this hanging at the Nicolaisen Art Museum, this is one of the coolest paintings you're ever going to see. Gregory Wilhelmy, 1 of 5. Look at that. You can even, if you want, yeah. This one right here. This is what Gregory wrote about this. Resurrection. Sunrise services on the northern plains. When the howling winds is the preacher's voice, and the painted sky is the face of God. The original of this, I showed you a picture when it was hanging at the Nicolaisen Art Museum. David, Gregory Wilhelmy liked it so much he did only 5. He could have done 25. He could have done 50, but he did. He says, I'm going to make 5 of these perfect. This is number 1 of 5. Talking $18,000. I lowered this and lowered this. It's too cheap. It's too cheap, but $750 to open. Are you kidding? That is like the steal of the show. That's $750 to open. Artist proof number 1. Well, no, it's not an artist proof. It's number 1 of 5. Hand embellished. By Gregory Wilhelmy. Call me. Let's work some deals. That is one of my favorite pieces of work, period. Look at that right over those hills where the sun or those carrot color shadows, it's just stunning. Can you put up, Jimmy, that flower market right there? Yes. What does he say on the back about it? He tells a story. What does he say?
Inspiration for painting, Nice, France, 1988, flower market. And embellished.
Yeah. Let's show him. And what's... Yeah. Look at that. And what's the item number?
3079.
3079. Look at that. every color. He only did 5 embellished clays. This is number 1 of 5. Call me. $750 to open. List price is $17,000. That is one of the most amazing Gregory Wilhelmies. That'd be a good one to show, yeah. We might have Matt is checking to see if we have a possible Peter Max to show, but Matt's going to have to work that out with the folks that have it. I mean, we have it, but I got to make sure we can sell it. Here comes the next one. Jimmy, put it up.
3076.
Oh, that's amazing.
This is the painting where it borders the Tom Brokaws Ranch.
Oh, read it. Read what he said.
I was commissioned to create paintings of this celebrated landscape just south of Yellowstone Park. Tom Brokaws Ranch borders on the left side of the road.
All right. Well, I know Jane Pauley's still around.
Yeah. Different network.
Oh, it's a different network now?
It's still a
All right, I'll tell you what.
This is actually a masterpiece.
Yeah, but when you move in front of it, Jimmy, you see, now stand right there. Yes, your shadow. Look at that, $750 to open. $200 increments once we get the open. Is Juliet working on no. And yes, I have the Olegs, I have the Wilhelmies, I have the David Lloyd Glovers. And Matt, pick out your favorite David Lloyd Glover. This is Matt Jackal's favorite David Lloyd Glover. I'm going to give him time to think about it, because what happens if he picks one and then somebody says, oh, Matt, I would have dated you for life, married you, if you'd only picked the other David Lloyd Glover. Wouldn't you feel stupid? Yes. I don't know. Stranger things have happened. Did that happen to you with your wife? No? No, Wilson? Okay. All right, yeah, Matt's picking his favorite. David Lloyd. Oh. Oh, my goodness. Folks, I should shut up. I mean, when you see a David Lloyd Glover, an artist that important, who gets, you see what his originals sell for, to have an original for $600 to open, that reflection is unbelievable. And folks, you know, as my late father used to tell me, no one's ever been shot over the phone yet. If you have a question or you want to make an offer, feel free to call me. My dad told me that when I was 13, I was supposed to call a girl and ask her out. And I got a little nervous. And I started to, then I stopped, and I started to. And I said, Dad, I'm a little worried about this. He said, Barry, no one's ever been shot over the telephone. And I thought about that for a while. He's right. You can say dumb things, but you're going to still hang up the phone and... Yes. Matt, we have shown as much as I can. I'll tell you what, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we have Wilhelmi 2 or 1. Did we play 1 or 2, Wilson? You're in charge of that. We started with number 2. Let's play the other half. Have you ever rode a horse, Wilson? You learned to ride when you were 10 years old. So, why did you learn so early?
I was actually sent to a camp where we each had a horse for like 3 weeks.
What was your horse's name? Zona?
No, Soda.
Soda. If you went to that camp today, would Soda still be around? So, okay. All right, folks, I want to show you camera 2. Please feel free to call us with any questions. We have operators here. We take offers. I'll sharpen my pencil. I'll turn on my calculator. I'm already giving you prices so cheap, but call us. But I want to show you the second half of the Gregory Wilhelmi. It might be the first. I'm not sure if it's 2, but we're going to show it to you right now. Listen to the wisdom of Gregory Wilhelmi. He's going to turn 80. He's a young man. He is 80? Oh, no. Take a look at this.
I'm Gregory Wilhelmi. I live in Montana and I'm an artist. And I paint pictures, a lot of pictures, of a lot of different things, in a lot of different places. The hardest part of doing any painting is getting it started, and after you get a certain place with it, then it kind of starts to fall together on its own, and it's easier to deal with. But when you're first starting it, you have to concentrate more to know for sure in your own mind what it is that you need to do to get a good product, a good picture. One of the problems about working outside is that it takes forever for oil paint to dry. So by adding some dryer into the white paint, that allows me to get a better, faster drying time and to have an easier time of completing my painting. I use a medium that I specially mix up for outdoor use, again with some dryer in it. And after I have completed a preliminary sketch of what it is that the main things that I want to paint, and I put on a brush light coating of this medium over the entire surface. It helps the oil paint spread more evenly. And I also I prefer a warm sienna tone to put my paint onto it. Just as a personal preference is that, first of all, I hate to work just on a stark white canvas because the oil paint will leave holes in your painting that the white will show through. And I always prefer a warm surface to paint on because it warms the other colors that I put over the top of it. Anytime that you're painting outside, you're dealing with weather, sunlight, time. Within 90 minutes, you have basically 90 minutes to get down your study. because after that the light will have changed significantly enough that you have a totally different picture that you're working with. If you're painting in town, there's always the, you try to get out of the way, on a side street where the traffic's not heavy and where you don't have a lot of interruptions. And then there's the elements. Like this morning, it was only about 30 degrees when we first came out here. I was pretty sure of that. So there's the cold, and summer there's the heat. It's the bugs, the wind, the rain, and just the logistics of setting up. So one of the more important aspects and the reasons to work outside is that it allows the artist to develop a visual memory for color and value and tone. I paint inside more than what I used to, but you still need to get out in the field and work because the human eye sees so much different than the camera, and there's also the immediacy of seeing the scene and working with it. And nothing as compelling as visually as coming out, actually seeing the scene and the challenge of being able to paint it. Setting up like this gives you the best kind of information to go back to the studio and do a finished painting. So when you're back in your studio and you're working and you're looking at reference material, say it's photographs you've taken or drawings that you've done, and the painting isn't working right, this kind of outdoor experience gives you the kind of knowledge you need to go back and make it right. My favorite places, when I first started painting outside location, I had taken a trip to Germany. And anytime that you're painting outside, you attract more of an audience. And to give me courage to get out, because there was always be a crowd watching, is that you could buy beer in Germany by the quarts. The bottle of beer was the kilo thing or whatever it was. So, and it was very acceptable to have beer for breakfast in Germany, so I put a couple of those big bottles in my backpack. And I worked in watercolors mostly then. And so you could sit down almost any street corner and get out your beer and get out your watercolors and do a painting, have a crowd, have a conversation. The person's reaction to your work is sometimes surprising to me. That they'll get things out of something that I necessarily wasn't intending or even thinking about. So I think basically I do my work, and then whatever a viewer drags away from it or how they respond to it. And one thing I've learned over the years is that you really can't predict it. A lot of times paintings that I really like, 80% of people will just, and I'll expect people to respond the same way to something that I really like, and it seldom ever happens. When I came down here, it was a Sunday morning a few days ago, and I was looking for a location for us to paint on, and what captured my eye was the light source. I was down here around 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, and it was quiet, and there was this nice contrast between the darks and the light area, and so this focal area in here really stood out, just popped. I liked the way at that morning where the cerulean blue sky was a nice complement off the oranges and the warm tones in here. It all looks good to me right now. I'll put it in my studio for a few days and look at it, and maybe some things will come to me that I can add or change at the time. But right now it feels good. Being done with something and having the painting being finished, I think are two different things. What I can say for sure right now is I'm about done with this painting. All in all, I think it turned out to be a very nice piece. I think it's kind of captivating.
Hi, folks. Barry Chappell coming to you live, Hollywood, California, home of PrimeTime Shopping Network. And I've been selling art on TV, art and coins, for 33 years. I'm going to start my 34th here pretty soon. And in some areas, I'm considered a pioneer in the idea of selling art and coins on TV. And the way you stay on TV for 33, 34 years, make sure you have the absolute best price. Nobody can beat your price. Nobody can come close to your price. If they can, I don't want to sell it. I want things that I can know I have the absolute best artist at the absolute best price, and nobody could even come close. I've shown you the work of Oleg tonight. Unfortunately, I'm down to only 4 originals. He is a master graduate of the Surikov in Moscow. I have shown you the work of Gregory Wilhelmy. These are editions of only 5. They're hand embellished on canvas and on paper. Most of them are on canvas. They're amazing. I have also shown you the work of Lloyd Glover. I have it. I will give you, as I have for 3+ decades, the absolute best price, or it won't get on TV. That's what makes my show and Jimmy and others different, is we do not sell the second best price. We don't want you to think it's even close. We have the best price or don't get on TV. So Jimmy, let's put up some stuff like this right here. What item number did you have right there?
3076.
Look at that. What's the title of that?
Boulder River Road.
Boulder River Road. That's where Tom Brokaw
Correct.
has a ranch on the other side of that road. And that is in Montana. And folks, this is number 1 of only 5. It is hand embellished Chappell on canvas. And it is stunning. And you're talking 17,000, 18,000. That is how famous Gregory Wilhelmy is. But more than that, this is a beautiful piece. And I lowered this and lowered this. What was the price I finally put up on this? $750 to open. I mean, that's crazy money. Call me. And you know what?
We're so much.
Here's what I can do. Patty, if somebody calls up to buy a Gregory Wilhelmy this time of night, what I can do is the first 2 or 3 I sell, I will, I'll work something. You know, whether we'll see if it needs a frame, we'll see what we can do, but just call. What's the next one you got there? Yeah, that's his 2 daughters. They're full grown now. They're both, they have Gregory is a grandfather because of the,
3077.
they were great. I remember they would spend time with Ben and Katie. I have a picture just to show you his kids when they were painting a, it was a contest. I'll find it here in a second. But they had to decorate a big sculpture, and they did. They won a prize for it. Here it is. This is like 10 years ago. There are his daughters with Gregory, and they painted that ram. Yeah, so anyway, they're a little younger. And what does Gregory write about this one?
If I recall, he said correctly, the former owner of the property was in the garden here.
Yes, and our twin daughters were perennially amazed and delighted by this abundant beauty. Yeah, what did I have this up to open at? This is a Gregory Wilhelmy. What? Whatever it was, you just yell it out, Patty. $750 to open. Okay. That's number 1 of only 5 ever done. Yeah, I mean, that's how you had to escape in the old days. You had to jump on a horse. Wilson was trained. He went through a summer school where he learned, he took care of his horse. What was the name of it? Soda.
Soda.
All right.
Like to drink.
And BC 3072. Oh, my goodness. I could ride a horse. I did a lot in college. I'd take girls horseback riding in Douglas, Georgia on dates. Yes.
You ever ride bareback?
No, I always had a pair of blue jeans on, and you know, I don't know what you do on horses, but you know, what does this say about Benson's team?
After a lunch break on a trail ride from Ingomar to Muscle Shell, Johnny Benson and his son untangle the reins. Sorry about that, but it's hard to read and keep it upright. Untangle the reins and
Yeah.
the horses. In order to re-hitch the horses. Very amazing detail.
Kate took horseback riding lessons. I didn't enjoy it like some people. They love it. You know, I raised a whole litter of kittens. Had to feed them with a baby bottle. Found homes for all of them.
They're very hard to ride.
Yes, they are. But, no, nobody rode any of my
Yeah.
kittens. I found them in Denton, Texas, when it rained. It hadn't rained in a long time, and they were in a what do you call it? A drain.
This one is really cool. I love
I
this
put
one.
a screwdriver in and it actually popped open. The only manhole cover I ever opened in my life, and I jumped down there and I got all of the kittens and I fed them with a little baby bottle.
Wow.
And I fed the mother, but I couldn't catch her. It took 3 days, 4 days to catch her. And what I do is I leave the garage just lower and lower and put food there. So at first she'd eat it. She'd think, no, by the end time, it'd be like 3 inches, 6 inches. She'd be eating the food close to the garage. Then she was happy to be reunited with her kittens.
This is 3080.
Yes. It's called Color TV, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is.
That was a big deal in the 60s. You know, a lot of people didn't have those in motels. And what did I have this to open for? Colored TV.
Most people that have colored TVs.
$7.50 to open, probably.
I don't have a price on that.
$7.50 it is, which is dirt cheap. That's number 1 of only 5. It's been hand embellished. When you look at it, when you look at this canvas, you see thousands upon thousands of brush strokes, so many different shades of blue. You got Regal blue, you got London blue, the really blue. You know, you got so many shades. It's beautiful. Can be yours. Give us a call. We also have Oleg's. I can't believe the Admirer is still here. Oh, that's my favorite piece right there. Yeah. I have 1 Sasha Basari left. It's the last Basari.
This is 3074.
Look at that.
Afternoon at Concord.
And you see this in Gregory's work. You are staring at the marquee, the matinee, and what did he say on the back about this theater?
Theater marquees from yesteryear have been a favorite subject of mine over the years. The old Babcock Theater in Billings, Montana announces another attempt to rescue it from history.
Yes. Well, now, Wilson, when you look at the windows above where you see the word Babcock, then you look in there, Gregory does this better than anybody. He's telling you stories of what's happening in that room just from the shadows on the drapes. And if you move a little bit the other way, you can see that empty street right there. Look at that. You have just that look at the other side of the Babcock, and it is just a perfect picture. And this was $750 to open. It is just an amazing number 1 of 5. He only did 5. And that might not ring a bell, but when you see Leroy Neiman and other artists do 300, 500, 1200. Leroy Neiman did, my mom bought the rights to one of his works called Golf Champions. And I saw somewhere an edition of 500. I'm going, wow, signed and numbered 1 of 500. Sometimes they estate sign them now. This is hand signed, hand numbered, and you can own it for $750 if no one else bids. Give me a call. I got about 28 minutes left. I have some incredible. Tell you what, here's a painting I didn't even show tonight. Sasha Bassari. It's the last Bassari I have. Sasha Bassari. Let me go to camera 2 for a second. Sasha Bassari is gentle surrealism. He is a graduate from the St. Petersburg Academy of Art. When you look into the eyes of anybody that's Sasha Bassari, I spent 3 weeks in St. Petersburg, Russia. I went to lunch with him, breakfast, dinner. Sasha Bassari is one of the most exquisite artists. He's getting ready to do a show in London for Saatchi Online, the biggest Saatchi galleries, the biggest online sellers of Russian art in the world. They've asked him to come from St. Petersburg to London to do a show. He will take a train or a boat anywhere. He will not fly, Wilson. But he can still get to London. There's a tunnel now. I should show him some of those movies, scare him about No, I'm not going to scare it. What's that?
The tunnel under the channel.
Yeah. But there's a scary movie about what happens sometimes. Shh. Sasha watches something. Sasha, it's fine. All right. If anything happens to you, it will happen to Jimmy first. All right. Did you take that challenge? Yes. Take a look at this. This is, I believe, at the park. Or is this, what's the name of this? It is... Patty, what is the name of this? Is it nighttime? Oh. It's the last Bassari. I think it's at the park, yeah. In the park. In the park. Look at those girls' eyes. Look into her eyes, Wilson. She'll be talking to you right now. What I like is he put those Ivan Earl type of treetops. And he just has this incredible, she's looking at you, she's telling you a story. Now, I have different Sasha Bassaris. At Saatchi Galleries in London, that retails for $35,000. That is one of the most impressive galleries on the planet. This is called At the Park. In the park, and there it is, $35,000. Tell you what, $1,500 to open. This is the last Sasha Bassari I own. It is stunning. When I saw it and looked in her eyes and listened to her, I mean, it's custom framed, it's ready, it's Russian canvas, you got everything you want. Not $35,000, but $1,500, and he is going to be doing a show at Saatchi in London. He is one of the most talented artists. Yeah. Top of those trees. Well, Sasha, it's funny, his agent, who I know and really like. Said, hey, do me a favor, make sure Sasha gets this. I did not know. I should have asked a few questions. I smuggled an Apple computer through customs in St. Petersburg. That would not have been cheap. I'd still be there. I don't know, but in St. Petersburg, at the Hermitage, there were 3 Van Goghs. There was Russian guards, but they were mainly ladies, and they were very friendly if you just smiled at them. They spoke Russian. I speak English. I don't know what they're saying, but on these Van Goghs, I would come up to the corner, all right, and I'd touch it. Let's go, I just touched probably a $20 million Van Gogh. Camera 2, Wilson, the painting that was their star was, and Robert Jolly, I'm still mad at him, is called The Dance by Matisse. It is a huge painting. I think the girl in Good Will Hunting had a copy of The Dance in her dorm room. This is literally 15 feet long by about 12 feet high. And I said, Robert, you got to get a picture of me touching this. He says, there's guards on both sides. I said, they're not even paying attention. So I wait, and I get real close to The Dance. And I have a copy of the picture somewhere here. And I go, and I touch it. And I said, you get that? He said, no. I said, all right, John. So we have to wait till the lady guards, they start talking to each other again. Go, Jolly, get this. And so I come up to it, and I go, The Dance. And I touch it like that. I said, did you get that? He said, it's blurred. You're a cameraman. How can it be blurred? I said, this is the last time. So I come over there, and once again, this is a huge painting, and this is a Dance by Matisse. That is a $100 million painting. And I touch it again so hard because I was a little mad. It actually moved. And, we fix it back up and get out of there. I have a picture of it, Jimmy. I can prove it. I touched The Dance. And that's one of the most famous paintings on the planet. You can't do that anymore. This is, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, at the Hermitage in St. Petersburg. Tell you what, 1,500 to open, give me a call. Tell us what you're interested in. Jimmy's here, I'm here. Whether it's a Wilhelmi, whether it's an Oleg Javetin, just let me know. All right, I'll tell you what. Hands down. All right, Jimmy, move that because I'm gonna sell these 2 right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been selling art for 3 decades on TV. These 2 are hands down the best 2. They're all great, but these 2, unbelievable. This is called Resurrection. Sunrise services on the northern plains, where the howling wind is the preacher's voice, and the painted skies is the face of God. Jaclay on fine art paper, 17 by 24, hand embellished in polymer surface, number 1 of only 5. This is 17 grand in a gallery. I lowered this and what did I have this up for? Call me, folks. Because I want to sell this one. What's that? $750, right? $750. Tell you what, watch this, Jimmy. At $900, if you call right now at $900, I'll frame it and pay your shipping too. $900, it will come to you framed and shipped. Or you can open it at $750. That is one of the all-time greatest Gregory Wilhelmis there is. And it is something you don't want to miss out on. I've done an awful job tonight, Jimmy. They're not calling, and it's my fault. I did something wrong because I have the real art, the great art here, and it should have gone. And that means that reflects on me, Jimmy, because I haven't told the story correctly. Well, I did in the videos. But no, stop, Chappell. It's your fault. Jimmy, it's your fault. No, it's my fault. Whose fault is it, Wilson? I thought it was Jimmy's. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Patty, whose fault is it that the show's not going well? It, you're saying the same as Wilson, it's Jimmy's fault? Oh, no, they didn't say that. They're blaming it on me, and they're right, too. All right, Jimmy, take this one away because I'll make the same deal on this one. I hope, Wilson, I don't know if you can get me, I hope there's a customer still watching. On this one, too, I'll make you a deal to frame it and ship it, too. This is BC 3074, Afternoon at the Babcock. And read what it said again, Jimmy. Theater marquees from yesteryear have been a favorite subject of mine over the years. The old Babcock Theater in Billings, Montana, announced another attempt to resurrect it from the trash bin of history. Look at that. $750 to open. Look how he has this purple shadow coming across. This is item number BC 3074. Look how he uses the purple shadows to darken that place. He's got, what were the movies here?
I thought it said they shoot horses, don't they? I thought that's what, and the other one is...
No, the Last Picture Show.
Oh, pardon me, the last picture.
Yes.
Excuse me. And Psycho. Isn't that Psycho?
It could be, yes, Psycho. And what's that guy's name in the Last Picture Show? Yeah, the Last Picture Show, it was about a Texas town. Here, I'll tell you what it is. His brother and him act. Hang on. What? No. Star of the movie The Last Picture Show. Oh, I'm going to be so mad when it... The Last Picture Show. Tim Bottoms, Jeff Bridges, you're right. Sybil Shepherd. But there's one... Yes. There's one more person. Yeah, let's do it. I was going to haggle with him, but hey, it's late. Randy Quaid, yeah, Randy and Dennis Quaid, yeah. We have we're going to open this at $500 to open, $100 increments. Do we have the 500? 500 has been bid. Looking for 6. 3071 Resurrection. I thank whoever's still watching us. Randy Quaid, he was in everything from Days of Thunder. Then all of a sudden he disappeared and he came back with this big long beard. He was in some kind of trouble.
Independence Day, was that Randy Quaid?
No, that's Dennis. Yeah. I don't know. They 500 has been bid, going once, looking for 6. 500 going once. What's that? Sure, I want a clock. But can you do something really cool? Put a minute on it, but make it run backwards.
You put a sundial on it?
No, just, give it a 1 minute clock. And they're getting a deal of a lifetime. Who is this that has the bid? All right, well, Ashley's got a customer that has the bid at 500. What? Miss S? Thank you, Miss S. Oh, it's been one of those nights, Jimmy. What? Oh, they're getting $500 going once. $500 going twice. fair and final warning. All in, all said, sold. Now, pick whichever one you want. I'll tell you what. That Oleg right there. I'm going to deviate yeah, that one. Look at this. This is Oleg Javetin. I mean, this is a guy that sold 2959, sold 10 originals when he was released, when he got done with collector's edition himself for over $100,000 each. This is telling you a story of emotion. I read to you the Igor, was it Kepner, who the assistant curator of the Hermitage, and had only good things to say about him. This is like what does it say the retail is on that? 25 G's? Well, I'll tell you what. This is something you're not going to see very often. Are you ready for this, Patty? This is a late night special. You don't hurt yourself lunging for the telephone. 1800 to open right now. That is an Oleg original, acrylic on paper with pastel. See the pastel? Oh, look at that. Watercolor, you got everything on this. This is true mixed medium. It is perfect. I've never sold an Oleg at 1800 to open ever. That's so cheap. To get a price like that, you got to get in a time machine. It sometimes looked like a DeLorean, and you got to go really, really fast. And there's always a dog in the car. Yeah, you got to have that. All right, I'm hoping this doesn't sell because at 1800. Put the other one up next to it, Jimmy, because that one too, $1,800. Either one. Look at this. That's called the View, right? Or the, what's the second one?
The Touch.
The Touch. I don't know if you ever saw that Boogie Nights with Mark Wahlberg. Well, when they were in the recording studio, that was a song they were singing. You remember that? You got that touch. And they're, if you don't give us the recordings, we're going to take them to the record company where we already have $1 billion deal. But if you don't give them to me, I can't pay you. Now, you have a face and a face, which in Oleg Javetin work is so important. He's the artist that invented all of that. Master graduate of the Surikov, signed Oleg Javetin. Look at that. Every geometrical shape you can think of. At 1800, I probably paid more. You are getting a deal of a lifetime. It's late. I'm down to 11 minutes. I haven't done a good show. You know, I mentioned this to Wilson once a long time ago. There was a late night guy on, I'm talking real late at night, 30, 40 years ago, named Tom Schneider. And he would interview people and try and be provocative. So he had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on his show. And afterwards, a few weeks later, someone asked, Kareem, what do you think about going on Tom Schneider's show? He said, well, it's the only show I've ever been on where he asks me a question, then answers the own question he asked me, then comments on his own answer to the question I didn't answer. And that's, I feel like I've done a show like that tonight. At 1800, that would be a steal. I want to thank you. I have 10 minutes. Oh. Here, let me put this up. Jimmy, this is 2956. What do they say? Bit. I don't want to get anybody mad. Hey, can you move these out of the way, Jimmy, real fast? And how many do we have left? It's done. Do it. Thank you. Someone just bought all of the Wilhelmies that were left. Thank you. Thank you very. Thank you.
All except one.
All except one. What was that customer's first name? And this right here, 2956, the Admirer. Look at this, folks. I want you to see what color looks like. One Wilhelmy left. Look at the Admirer. I had this up at 32. Watch this. Late night special, 2,800 on the Admirer. It's oil on board. We're running out of everything, and I thank you. Well, here are two of the other Wilhelmies. They're all gone. You figure out which one's left. I thank you. What's the customer's first name? Miss S. Thank you, Miss S. Whoa, his two daughters. All the Wilhelmies are gone except for his two daughters, which is 3077. This is the one I had trouble saying the word perennial.
Yeah, not much trouble because you're doing your own payment.
Yeah, that's because I practiced in between. You think it's so easy, Jimmy. It's not. I had trouble when I was...
It was actually Sandy that bought him.
Sandy, thank you, Sandy. Sandy, thank you very much. When I was a kid, Wilson, I'd have to spend an hour every week in a special Delaware Trails elementary school because I couldn't say my R's right. So they would always say Barry. They'd show you the word wabbit, and instead of saying wabbit, they go, don't even think rabbit. Stop thinking, Barry, that's your problem. I said, I knew it. They'd say, go, rabbit, run, rapid. And if you do that, pretty soon you can say R's.
You're right.
Regularly, rapidly. So I got that. All of a sudden I couldn't say it. No, I'm joking. I'm just having fun. Yeah. Operator, please dial twee. Stop. Don't. That's one of my dad's favorite old jokes. Never mind. All right, folks, thank you. So we have this at 2,800. That is oil on board. It is signed on the front and back. Folks, at 2,800. This is Oleg Zhevetin, master graduate of the Surikov. Thank you. Thank you, Sandy. What part of the world does Sandy live in? Well, you got the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere. All right, California. A California gal. Thank you, Sandy. And all right, let's see, what else do we have? Oh, all of those are gone. All of these are gone, Jimmy. So what else? So everything except his two daughters. All right, here, let me hand you all of this and this and this and this. I'm going to sell that Basari right now. Sasha Basari. All right. What was that? Is that you again? No, it's not your pacemaker. It's that thing you got around your ankle. What do you call that when they got something around their ankle, Wilson? Ankle bracelet, yeah. They're not as easy to get off as you thought, huh? This is the last Basari in the park. Is that the name of it? At the park or in the park? What is it? Oh, wagtail. Yes, wagtail. The type of bird there. No, we're not talking. Don't do that again, Jimmy. All right, now we're talking right here. The wagtail bird. But you didn't answer the real question, Jimmy. This is very important. You looking at the wagtail? Is that a European wagtail or a South American wagtail?
Go with the European model.
You're wrong. Yes. Because this painting, that's on the other side of the world. So if this is Russia, it's actually the other side of the world. They're in Brazil, where you get the South American wagtail. I thought you would have figured that out. No wonder you can't take that ankle bracelet off. Anyway, call me. I'm going to make you a deal. I lowered this down to 2,800. No, 1,500. No. What do we have it up at? I can't see without my glasses. 1,500. 15. Call me. Call me. This is the last Sasha Basari before he does his show in London. Saatchi Galleries in London. They're big galleries. I walked past them about 20 years ago, 15 years ago, Jimmy. And I said to myself, I said, so someday you're going to have an artist that's going to be featured here. And the other part of me said, no, you're not. And I said, yes, I am. And then we got in a fist fight. Call me. I will turn my calculator on, sharpen my pencil. You're going to do what?
I said, you know how painful that is.
Yes. And call me on anything else. And Jimmy, put the admirer below. Yeah, there's the admirer. I got 1 minute. Let's call me on the admirer. Yeah, look at the admirer. I have 1 minute, and I thank you for watching me, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. And I'm working on some Bob Kane Batman pieces. No, I'm not working on any Batman pieces. But I used to sell them a long time ago. Look at the admirer. Look how it becomes three-dimensional. Look how the admirer is floating in the air looking at the girl. And camera 2, I want to thank you all. My name is Barry Chappell. This is the Wednesday night art show. Art and coin. One of these times we're going to get some coins up here. Thank you very much. And Buford, whatever you do, Buford, don't kick that dog. Jimmy, what are you going to do to Buford? He keeps threatening to kick the dog. Hey, we love you. Don't kick that dog, Buford. Don't even think about kicking the dog. Bye.